there. My name is Melissa. Melissa means honeybee, and Honeybee Tarot is really kind of my why that we are all connected, and I want to create a community where we understand that. My readings hopefully communicate that, and hopefully you will start your own path and your own journey in understanding how much of a role and how important your role is in the entire community. So today, or right now, I'm working on a series looking at the North Node. So you'll want to read the description box below to find out anything you need to know about the North Node. This is not your sun, moon, rising, Venus. No, this is about the North Node. North Node being, in my, not just my opinion, but the way I describe it is it's kind of our North Star. It's our why. It's the purpose of our 100 years that we've been given here on Earth. What are we supposed to be doing with our time here? What are we supposed to be doing spiritually to grow and to impact the collective? And I think right now, a lot of us are kind of trying to figure that out in many ways. But today is for Taurus North Node. So Taurus North Node people, I already pulled out a few oracle cards. One of them is the archetypes from Kim Krantz, okay, the Wild Unknown archetypes. One is from the Life Purpose Oracle deck from Doreen Virtue, and one is from the Past Life Oracle deck from Doreen Virtue. Now, we're going to do these three oracle, or talk about these three oracle cards that I've already pulled, and then we're going to move into the reading, and I'll do that live here. So for the archetypes, the question is, what is the archetype that is influencing you right now? And what came up was, it's so beautiful, the gem. Okay. See the colors of the rainbow coming out from sort of the depths. I mean, the darker part of this card looks like, kind of grass and roots and worms. I don't know if you can see that. But in the center is the gem with all of the colors of the rainbow radiating out. Interestingly, at the bottom of the deck was the bridge. Also, literally looks like a rainbow, right? A bridge, two hands reaching out across the waters. So before I read to you, and I'm not going to read for everyone out of the book, but I really did want to read this gem for whatever reason. Your life purpose card, like what life purpose might you be considering right now, came up, was the artist. And this says, engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area in your life. Okay. So this was answering the question, what how did I put that? What is possible life purpose to consider or explore right now? Okay, we know that we're all going through some challenging times in the collective, for sure, and of course that means that individually things are going to be coming up. At the bottom of the deck is strength. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. Okay, so now we're looking at the gem, we're looking at the artist, and at the bottom of the decks we have the bridge and we have strength. Okay, the bottom of the deck being that influence that's moving from kind of the recent past into the present and then through to the future. It's almost like the bottom of the deck is a bridge, if you will. And then I asked, what is the possible past life influence that you may be dealing with? And we got karmic relationship. And at the bottom of this deck, the past life deck, we got authority figures. Okay, so what does that say? What is that telling me? What does that say to me? For me, it looks like there is something, there is a relationship in your life right now that is requiring you to dig deep, to somehow dig, how did that happen? Dig deep into your conscious past. You know, what are the lessons that I've learned in relationship? Dig deep into your shadow work. You know, what are the things that I don't want to look at and admit about myself in relationship? That those are things that could be influencing you. What might be influencing you in a karmic relationship right now is potentially like a power struggle. You know, where do I resist, or who might be resisting me because I am an authority figure? Or where do I push back against people who tell me what to do? And you know, in relationships, we're always struggling. You know, we're always in the having that power struggle as we're kind of deciding, you know, how do I move from, or how do I hold on to me, my identity, and who I am as an individual, while also, you know, coming together and merging with you in a relationship, and also respecting your boundaries. And so, you know, authority, if you have authority issues from your conscious past or your unconscious past, these are things that may be affecting you. And you may be recognizing that you're having relationship issues that feel like constant, you know, power struggle. But we'll figure out more of that in the reading. This is going to require you to use some creativity in handling what is going on, dealing with what is going on, expressing what is going on, problem solving, working together is also going to require, or is asking you to, once again, look at your past experiences. You know, this person is interesting. She's a female. She's like very much like a warrior, riding on, I suppose this is a Pegasus, a winged white horse, right? And so this may be asking you to harness both your masculine and assertive energies, your voice. You know, this is what I want. This is what is important to me. These are my boundaries, as well as your feminine energies, which are more receptive and receiving. Receptive and nurturing and compassionate. Okay, and so it may be asking you to kind of like merge those things together as you come up with creative ways to move through whatever issues are coming up for you in relationship. You know, as I just said that, I'm realizing collectively that's what we're being asked to do as well. We've all, at least in the United States, really needing to listen, to be more compassionate, and then to act as agents of change in a very strong, assertive way. Like, no more am I going to be bullied. No more am I going to be run over. No more am I going to be deceived. No more am I going to believe the lies. No more am I going to allow you to say that something that happened that just didn't happen. And that is a masculine and a feminine energy coming together and becoming, you know, a whole warrior spirit in that. And so the archetype, the gem becomes a gem under extreme force, right? Under extreme conditions, beneath the earth, embedded in other stone and rock and sediment and I don't know what, but intense heat. And it's our struggle. It's our struggle and our willingness to be in the midst of it and to, it's a word I want, and our willingness to like withstand, much like the butterfly in a cocoon, to withstand the intensity of the fire, the storm, whatever you want to call it, that creates the gem, that creates this thing of beauty, this, you know, a strength, a radiance, a light that can be shown back out. I mean, if you can think of some of your hardest won lessons, if you can think of some of your biggest personal challenges and what it took to overcome them or move through them, I guarantee you're able to take those lessons and operate as a guide to others who are going through them. And it probably, those places where you felt the weakest and the most under fire and that you almost would want to give up, those are the times, or those are the experiences that have created such strength and beauty and self-esteem within you, you know, the gem. But I just wanted to read out of the book a few of the words. The diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. In mythology, the diamond is often linked to the daemon or inner light that leads us toward our true self, our purpose, and our destiny. And the moments of your life that glimmer are clues to where the gem resides. Don't covet the sparkling diamond of another. The gem is like a fingerprint, never to be repeated again and again. Find yours. When light, unique, shining, generative, and irreplaceable. When dark, envy, greed, and grasping. Okay, so once again, you know, we get to choose, and when we're looking at the nodes, we're moving from kind of the strengths as well as the remnants of our South Node and of our past, which might include things that we still need to work on, right? Obviously, into the North Node. And now we're doing the lessons. Now this is why we're here, to learn lessons, but also to bring our gifts forward. So recognize that your unique path, your unique gifts, your unique struggles, your unique your unique, what do I want to call it? Destiny. I mean, it's you're unique. And Taurus, one of the things that you really need to watch out for and kind of leave in the past is a tendency to believe that there are certain ways that everyone needs to follow, certain things that everyone needs to believe, and that's something that you need to leave behind. So just remember that whatever you're going through, okay, if it involves any of those kinds of thought processes, it's important to leave them behind, to be more open, to be more creative, to be more of a bridge and a listener, to to whoever it is or whatever it is that you're dealing with. And this can be, again, an interpersonal, intimate relationship, or maybe even one involving colleagues, clients, those kinds of things. It may even involve you looking at what's going on in the world and, you know, kind of shooting all over the place. And that's not something that we need. We need to be listening to each other. Okay, I'm going to put all of this away. And let's see what the reading, the tarot cards have to say. I will pull one more oracle at the end of this reading. For some reason, my stones, the stones that I have in front of me, I look at before I do the reading, and I feel that you really are needing a lot of love, compassion, like lots of heart-centered stuff. You're also needing to be grounded. There's some like kind of letting go in general. I'm just going to say that. Okay. So lots of compassion, understanding, try to understand from a deeper level, trying to be more open and curious to what's going on from a deeper level. Because to be honest, none of us know. None of us know for sure what should or shouldn't be happening or being done or why things happen, right? Okay, so let's go on to what challenges using a deck, the Rider-Waite deck. What challenges are present right now for I'm shuffling upside down? What challenges are present for Taurus? Did you see one flip? No, just felt like it. What challenges are present for Taurus North Node right now? Okay, so we got a little heartbreak, little disappointment, okay? I got the card of kind of balance in being a giver or being a receiver. Okay, so it looks like there is some heartbreak related to being in balance in relationship, to recognize when it's time to give and when it's time to receive, when it's time to speak, when it's time to listen. Sometimes we are the man, this person who is, you know, kind of more wealthy, we'll just say, or abundant, or blessed. He's able to give. And sometimes we are the person that is asking for help. And it's not healthy to always play one role, if that makes sense. So it does seem like balancing out, yeah. You know, people that have the wealth, they have the power. Let's face it. They just do. And that's such a shame. Because the people that are without have, if we were to listen and honor those people, you know, or ourselves whenever we're in those positions, those people have a lot to say. They have a lot of experience. They understand the human condition in ways that people of power and prestige and money don't. This could even be a parent in this case, right? But it's a karmic relationship. You're working this out. You're working out the balancing of give and take. Who has the power? You have, if you will allow yourself to recognize that you don't know everything, and that you can, that there may be things that you, on many different levels, many different planes, that you could be open to, that this is maybe something that's like a karmic thing, a karmic lesson. If you can be open to that, you really do have cards here. So there's, intuition, understanding that there's mystery behind the veil. You do have the ability to heal. To bring balance, hope, and healing into your relationship or your life. Okay. All right. So, what strengths and or gifts does Taurus North Node, or could Taurus North Node bring forward in this situation? Look at that. Independence, confidence, trust in your ability to create, harvest, reap whatever it is that you need to be an independent, trusting person, a person who trusts in life, and a person who trusts in their ability to manifest. So you also might want to let me just look at this here. So you got 3 of Wands at the bottom of the deck and 3 of Pentacles, and 2 of Swords. So this person has put his dreams, his plan, his initial work or ideas or manifestations out there, right? And he's waiting for the results of that to come back to him. I think and then this one is about kind of collaborating and working with others. So it may be even getting, consultation. So I think this is asking you that, or telling you that you have the gifts. You have the strength to build and create whatever it is that you want, that you kind of know that about yourself and about life, and you don't have to be so controlling about the other person or with the other entities. Just trust in yourself and your own abilities, that whatever you put out there is going to come back. It may take a while. You may be standing here on the, little, what is that? Like little cliff, waiting and watching and wondering, where's my ship? When's Amazon dropping it? But it's coming. That faith. And if it doesn't, that you can work with others to create whatever it is that you want to create. Okay, just leave that there. What tendencies does Taurus North Node need to leave behind? Tendencies does Taurus North Node need to leave behind? Whew. Okay, so the bottom of the deck, right? He's looking backward. He's a warrior. He's been through a lot. Sometimes this is read as being paranoid. I think it's, well, let's, what did I just do with these cards? Okay. Tendencies to leave behind. Huh. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but this is what I'm seeing. Are you looking over the fence? Are you thinking the grass is greener somewhere else? Are you wondering? Maybe you're thinking about that. I'd like to move or go somewhere else, right? Like maybe something else would be better, or more fun, or more maybe I'm missing out. Why am I saying that? Okay, so 3 of Cups, right? These people look like they're celebrating. 2 of Wands. He's got the world in his hands, but he's looking over here at the 3 of Cups people. And then we've got the Tower. Okay, so we're looking at tendencies to leave behind. Kind of, you know, disruptive energy here. And then the impulsive Knight of Wands, you know, the fool that rushes in sometimes without thinking. And it's very, you know, sexually oriented. We've also got this person here that's, you know, gosh, I've been through so much and I'm looking back and what do I do? Do I stay and continue to fight for this thing, or do I move forward? Or maybe I'm a little paranoid. You know, but in this position of like things to leave behind, we're going to get a clarifier. Okay. Why? What's going on here? Whoops. Clarify the tendencies to leave behind. No. Clarify, please. Tendencies to leave behind for Taurus North Node. Could be a third-party situation here. Maybe you don't like being controlled, so you're looking, you know, kind of got your eyes on something else. And being very dramatic. Yeah. Scorpio. All right. Well, that's your South Node. Okay. So that the South Node tendencies, right? Possessiveness, jealousy, being very intense, real kind of extreme in your emotions, maybe a little jaded, I guess. Yeah, so you want to leave those tendencies behind, okay? All right, 7 of Wands. You know, he remains above anybody else who is poking their little, you know, kind of wands at him. Like he on the shadow side, he's defensive, right? But on the more positive side, he stands in his truth and he can defend his truth, and he's willing to do that. So you just take what works for you or what's speaking to you from this reading. It is a general reading. So if it's not talking to you, then this reading is not for you. Okay, so what to focus on to contribute to the collective. Wow, Scorpio card wants to come in. So probably the good, obviously, you know, the gems in you. Speaking the truth. Cutting through the crap. And I'm only saying that because I could see some of the cards that kind of want to come out, but between me and you and Spirit, I really prefer the cards to flip out or fall out or in some way give me that confirmation. Sometimes if I'm shuffling too long and they don't, I'll go ahead and take them as they come out, because here we are again. Okay. So this was what to focus on to contribute to the collective. Again, this to me speaks to the bottom of the deck here, which is, you know, strength. Like you're a warrior. You've been through something at least somewhat similar in the past, and you're a warrior. You know, you're not, I don't want to say this. From the South Node, you know that there are, I hate just saying that, I'm sorry, I got it. You know that there are mysteries. You understand that there are things that you don't understand. You know that things take hard work. You know that things are not easy. You know that pushing the easy button is not okay. You understand that from a deep soul level. Judgment. We can have rebirth, right? Like after the war, after the struggle, after the fight, after the, you know, whatever it is, like trying to work out, comes the rebirth and the gem, the bridge, the peace, the healing, the resurrection, right? And a new beginning, a fresh start. Oops, that was supposed to be over here. Okay. I'm going to get a clarifier because the question was what to focus on to contribute to the collective. This may be that, you know, maybe you're working with or dealing with someone that doesn't have as much experience, life experience or relationship experience as you do. And you're, as someone who has gained battle scars, hard won, you know, maybe you can offer that perspective or your perspective from having gone through the battles of life that you have gone through. So the Hanged Man, you know, he chooses to be there to gain new perspective. and understands that this is a time for him to kind of not to act and not to react, but to take some time to sit with, meditate on, be with, experience, right? Like, what is going on here? Until he gets a sense of enlightenment, or, like I said, like a new perspective. Why do I feel like that? Like maybe things can just be. The way they are. What if we didn't have to fight? Why do we have to battle so much for this or that, or my way or your way, or what if we could be present with it? You got the Queen of Pentacles, who definitely is grateful in, her abundance, and she's a very mothering, fertile queen, capable of not only like creating her own abundance, right, but ultimately being very, very satisfied and grateful in it. And because of that gratitude, it continues to fulfill and grow on itself. And then again, you get the Judgment card. So it's kind of like you're working through something, some kind of, I think, karmic thing, or something that needs to be healed in your life, conscious life, right? Okay. What obstacles to be aware of? Okay, what obstacles for you to be aware of? What obstacles? The Taurus North Node to be aware of. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the time. What obstacles to be aware of for Taurus North Node? Just heard stubborn, bullheaded. Sorry, bullheaded. Oh, God. No, then I want to take all of these. I'm not going to. Okay. Obstacles for Taurus North Node to be aware of. Avoid. Sometimes the cards won't come out because I'm not asking the right question, right? So what obstacles, old patterns to avoid or be aware of? So these did come out in reverse. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah. If I were to take them in reverse, and look at this card at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. See, this guy's kind of like waiting, you know, he's looking at what it is he's planted, and he's kind of deciding, this is the way I interpret it, you know, what comes next? Like, is this worth continuing to work on? Is it worth adding Miracle Grow to this, or is it time to pull and harvest? Is it harvestable? Was it a good crop? Like, there's lots of decisions. He's kind of like, what am I going to do with this? Is it time to go hoe another, is that what it's called? Hoe? Till another piece of land? Like, what's my next, what do I do here? Right? It's 7, so there's, you know, there's possibilities here. And then the Justice card and the Hierophant. Okay, this looks like he could be contemplating divorce. If I took these cards in reverse, I was hearing being bullheaded. I would say, I guess for me, this looks like resist making this all about you. Resist cutting off your nose to spite your face, right? Like the holding back, the taking, you know, sort of like punishing the other person, so that you don't look bad, you know, that kind of vindictiveness that can come in during times where we're in struggle in relationship, especially during a divorce, okay, if that's something that you're considering. Just be really, you know, kind of operate from your higher self, not from that South Node, the darker aspects of Scorpio, which can be very vindictive and cruel sometimes. Don't worry. Don't focus so much on the coin, the money, the offer, the, you know, all of that. This is about relationship. And no one has to own the right person and the wrong person, the good person, the bad person, right? Okay. And how the collective needs you. How does the collective need you right now? Because remember, every time you level up, every time you grow as a person, you are putting that energy now into your community. Your community could include your colleagues, your employees, your family, your children, your memoir. I mean, you know, the more we're healing ourselves and doing the right thing, the decent thing, the human thing, humane thing, on the individual level, we're bringing that forward. So how would you, how the collective needs you? Needs you to be a leader, to be a person of integrity and truth and enlightenment and sort of someone who will pierce through the old belief systems to maybe even create a new image of what it is, what it means to be a leader, what it means to be the father, what it means to be the husband, the emperor, that male, the divine masculine. Like, what does that mean? What could it mean? You know, North Node Taurus, you are very much like, this is the way it is, right? And this is the rule, and this is the should. And I think the Wheel of Fortune is at the bottom of the deck, as is, you know, Five of Swords, changes, conflict. So we need to do things when we're in conflict and in relationship, and we need to change our perspective. How do we work with people? How do we bridge? How do we honor the gem that can come out from the depths and the darkness and the struggle and the pain and the change? You know, it's a time for change, and the collective needs you to be a new image of that masculine leadership role. And you could be you know, you can be a female, but that kind of leader quality of a leader in integrity and in enlightenment, and yeah. Okay. And so the best possible outcome. Best possible outcome for Taurus North Node. Taurus North. Ooh. Wow. Okay. All right. That kind of messily slid out, but I like it. Best possible outcome is the Queen of Wands. She owns her masculine energy in her femininity and her sexuality and her confidence and her self-esteem and her willpower and her enthusiasm and passion. She's so confident. It's like she's an integrated being. Living her light, you know, living her light, owning her life, owning her truth, owning her passion, owning her sensuality. It's very necessary for Taurus North Node to immerse themselves in their sensuality and the senses and having those experiences. So the best possible outcome is that you will integrate this new leadership, you know, image that can combine, you know, what we traditionally believed was masculine leader into something that also encompasses the divine feminine receptive qualities, and you may, this is the best possible outcome here, right? So there's potentially a choice here or a decision to be made, and it looks like, you know, you choose love, whatever that looks like, and whoever that looks like. It doesn't have to be the person that you're with, but it's choosing to respect and honor the other person, right? That love is the healing agent. Oh, and you're in a karmic relationship with the authority figures. Okay, so now it's all right. The authority figures in a karmic relationship, or authority issues, or whatever Remember what it said. Yeah. Okay, authority figures. So, wow, really cool. Okay, so, let me just think. This possible outcome. I'd like to give you a message from an oracle card and oracle deck, and I'm not sure. Usually they're very much, you know, kind of pulling out to me. I'm going to go ahead. Maybe I'll stick with this. I think I did this with the Aries North Node. I don't even recall now, but this is a blessing for Taurus North Node. Blessing for Taurus North Node, please. Blessing for Taurus North Node. Blessing for Taurus. Oh my gosh. Taurus North Node. Blessing for Taurus North Node. This is from the Blessed Bee deck from Lucy Cavendish. Can't take that one. There's too many there. They're saying just pull it. Okay. I don't know who they is. I don't know. Okay. Blessing on a homecoming. And blessing on a journey. Oh, wow. Look at all the bluebirds. Okay. Interesting. Because I thought I saw like a divorce here somewhere. It says blessing on a homecoming. And then blessing on a journey. Are you coming home or are you moving forward? Let's see. So we've got 22. Wow. So you got 22 here and 44 here. I'm only going to read this one. A blessing for a person who is returning home after a time far from their family, friends, customs, and communities. Homecoming is often anticipated as a kind of perfection, the imagined cocoon of comfort we visualize returning to, the embrace of mother's arms, the sounds of voices you know like your own, the welcoming hearth in front of which the tales that create family and bonds will be told once more when you return. But often homecoming can be a collision between the imagined home we foresee ourselves returning to, which is in truth a living thing, and thus will have gone through its own evolution during our absence. And likewise, we have changed during our time in the world, and so our coming home can highlight our own new and untested difference. For the returned veteran, the seeing their old self in the concerned eyes of relatives, for the new mother holding a child in her arms, her homecoming can be a sense of seeing the home through new eyes, or the traveler home from a true adventure. Coming home can seem ordinary, a return to unwanted reality of jobs and bills. To a pilgrim child, coming home can be a time of safety after a chaotic time of self-discovery and hardship. Whatever brings us home, it never brings us back the same as who we were when we left its borders. For a home is another country, a time, and place. And when we drew upon its comfort while on the road, it too was quietly changing. This blessing is for your homecoming, for it to be one which is open to you, to who you have become, joyous in the discovery of the changes you have made willingly, understanding of the hurts that may have happened along the road and the paths your journey took you down. May you bring to your home the light of your soul and let your presence illuminate the home, making it new and warm once again for those who have waited for your return. It seemed like you got that warrior card multiple times, right? That's kind of what this is reminding me of. Hasn't been easy. Certainly has not been easy. Let everything be familiar and soothing, yet no longer memory's gift or nostalgia's promise. May home be full of smiles and embraces and warmth, but most of all, a sense of your place being finally filled, because the truth is that your home was no longer truly home without you, and only your return has filled the void. Let home's sanctuary bless you with the safest place on earth, and let the home be filled with love and laughter of kin and friend, until you can integrate who you have become while you were away, and who you are now that you have returned. May your homecoming be blessed with the open arms of those who have missed you, and let the rediscovery of you outshine who you once were. A blessing, dear friend, wanderer, on your homecoming. May it bring gladness to your soul. Okay, North Node, Taurus. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you recognize that your journey and your healing matters and has a purpose. And just be well. Thank you for being here, and I would love it if you would just take a second to like, share, subscribe, or comment, and let me know your thoughts on this reading. Okay, be well.